If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC25, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC25 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 8% using promo code Inception at checkout. Okay, so just finished doing the review for João Felix. So let's check out the evolution today. Evolution's the saving grace of my content this year. Thumbs up. And even that they're like really weird with, but like when they release good ones, very good, very good. All right, so the evolution today, guys, is called Defensive Playmaker. You get some pretty nice improvements. You get Playstyle plus Ping's Pass, which is actually a really big one, to be honest. You get Playstyle plus Long Ball Pass. Ping's Pass, you know what? Long Ball Pass, they did nerf that a little bit. Like, they're still really effective for sure. They nerfed it a little bit than what it was like initially. But Ping's Pass, man, that playstyle is crazy, bro. If you can go with midfielders on this one. Oh, right back false back plus. Huh. CDM lying playmaker. That's not bad either, actually. Trent Alexander-Arnold's probably one of these ones for sure. Probably Joshua Kimmich as well. Let's see here. The two top ones. Oh, Doomfreeze is there too. Okay, so let's take a look at these cards, right? So the improvements, wow, they're actually like pretty significant. Is it free for this evolution? I don't know where you usually check. It's like, oh no, just like Jamie is the one that's paid. This one is a free one though. Okay, cool. Let's see what we're working with here. So Yasuo, Ping's Pass. Do you have Intercept on you? No Intercept, but has Anticipate, Press Proven, Finesse, Dead Ball. I mean, yeah, he you know what he looks like? He looks like a deep lying playmaker, but he is oddly formatted. A lot of nice passing stuff, by the ways. You can't really go wrong with that. I wouldn't use him as a right back, I don't think. Unless I really utilize false back. False back might be okay for him, to be honest. But it's just the sprint speed. Like, that's just not going to be super ideal to work with at this point. But in the midfield area, honestly, like, I don't mind a card like this at center mid. The thing is, though, is that he's kind of formatted more for a hunter than he is on a shadow. Because if I use him as a center mid, he has no roles in that. Attacking wingback, deep lying playmaker. Yeah, so it's mainly deep lying playmaker, honestly. Give him a shadow and then just use him in that way. I mean, it wouldn't be horrible, but at the same time, he's kind of missing some defensive playstyle, so a little bit of a risk factor in that one for sure. Trent Alexander-Arnold receives the long ball pass from this version. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, honestly, if you enjoy using false back, it could be decent. Deep lying playmaker, there's potential with deep lying playmaker. There's potential. He doesn't have intercept for that area. I think intercept is really huge for defenders and midfielders, to be honest with you. I think it's really, really big playstyle. That and anticipate, like when you don't have anticipate plus, oh my goodness, the raccoon, bro. The raccoon. Whips pass, long ball pass. The thing is that as like a deep lying playmaker, he has the long ball pass, right? That's added to the card, but it's more wasteful for him because he has whipped pass, and it's like the only way you're going to utilize whipped pass is if you actually use him in those like side areas. So like, I don't know what wide half does. I don't think anybody uses that, but I guess that would be like the way to use him, right? Or unless you use him as an attacking wingback, and that's only because of wanting to utilize the whipped pass on the card if you want to do that. But even still, I think a false back would still be okay for him. He just wouldn't have a fullback that has like a lot of pace behind him, right? Because he's not like a lengthy or anything like that either. So yeah, two different versions. Why? What is this? Really? Both of those cards gave whipped pass? Seriously? Ping's pass, long ball pass, and then like stat improvements for this. Yeah, you could go down this route. Like I said, he's missing a lot of defensive stuff for deep lying playmaker by itself to be good, but yeah. Doom freeze. +2 in the skill moves, and then +1 in the weak foot. CDM. Strangely formatted too. Yeah, transfer market card with the shadow. I'll show you guys. We checked out this card like just like from the Mendy review, right? But like, look at this thing on a shadow, bro. You're gonna tell me that's not like a market card? They would never release this as an SBC, no chance. Yeah. I mean, like, that's what they do though, right? The improvements for dribbling is higher, but then you give him a shadow, he's no longer a lengthy, right? So deep lying playmaker, center half, right mid winger, right back attacking wing back. Yeah, I wouldn't care to do this. Now with like, I know that this card is significantly more expensive, but if you're gonna use a Doom Freeze, it has to be that one. Because this, like, this is, I wouldn't do this. I definitely wouldn't do this. Like cards like this, honestly, you would mainly do if like 3-backs were actually decent. But even still, like the dribbling is just too high for like not having a lengthy. A lengthy is a really big part of this card because it is like his body type and physical presence. Yeah. João Cancelo, he might be decent there. It depends. Wits pass, dead ball, technical block. Yeah, the thing about these cards that like they have deep lying playmaker, which is really cool, right? But you're using them more as a person that just helps out in both. Defensively, I don't know how he would. I don't know how well he would do because this is not the flashback card, right? Because there was the SBC Cancelo, right? This card, yeah, if you play him as a CDM, he could cook there, right? Because on a shadow chemistry style, really good pace, really good defense. Rapid's not as relevant, but like the intercept would be, and then he still has like a couple of other things too. Like he still has a Trivela and stuff too, you know. But the intercept plus on a deep lying playmaker as a CDM would definitely be way more relevant. Like this one, it's mainly like, oh, I'm going to attack more than anything, right? Because I'm going to be good at passing the ball because of the pinged pass and the long ball pass, because those are added play styles to him. If you had the intention of using him as like an actual right back, it would be okay, but the sprint speed is at 90. It might just be low, right? Like, I think the main way of utilizing this card, honestly, like if you were to actually do this, is you would use them on a false back, and then you would just be okay with the sprint speed being lower for that track back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a false back with the pinged pass and the long ball pass, like that's the way to utilize a card like that for sure. What does Footbin have right now for like trending cards that are like some maybe like clear and obvious ones? You're getting added to the thumbnail 100% without a shadow of a doubt. So GG's to that. Meta-wise, nothing too crazy, but just for the lulz of having sunglasses on. I think he has a eye condition, like with lights. I think he can't really see lights too much. I think he has like a sensitivity to it, if I'm not mistaken. 100% adding that to the thumbnail though. GG's to me. But shadow chemistry style. Yeah, I think this evolution, guys, it's gonna be a little bit tricky. Yeah, this one will be tricky, I think. I think with this one, you have to have evolutions that you have been improving over time. Because these guys playing in that role, they're missing a lot of things unless you've never done the card a single time, right? And you just want to be able to utilize certain players and get them an upgrade right away, right? This one's a 90 rated, so the silver card you would upgrade straight to a 90. But again, remember that CDM-wise, he's not really working with too much. Center mid-wise, he does at least have a box-to-box. Like, usability-wise, this card has more to work with. He has no defensive stuff, so you have to be mindful of that. Even with the defensive stats being higher, he has no defensive stuff, so probably have to use him in like a 4-1-2-2 or something, right? CDM deep lying playmaker is possible. He might still be able to do some defensive animations, maybe. It really depends on the player. Like, that's a risk that you have to be kind of like willing to take kind of thing, right? But I mean, from a direct upgrade, if you never did a Casado card and you are building some sort of Barcelona team, I guess you can't really go wrong with something like this, right? Because he's still yet to receive any sort of card as well, right? So there is that as well. But yeah, Shadow Chemistry Style, good pace, good defense, some good stuff there for the improvements. Quadrado. Quadrado might be okay. Let's see. Yeah, these cards, I'm telling you, they're all formatted for like right mid positions with stat improvements. Like right now, like again, you can play him as a CDM with the deep lying playmaker. It's possible. It just lacks a lot of defensive stuff. Like this is a card again that you're kind of using for like the general build-up play, right? Both of these playstyles being added to this evolution is not a bad thing. So again, if you've been doing evolutions that don't have specific improvements in that area, the playstyle pluses are very relevant. Like having passing ones is really cool, but it's just the direction of how it's going that's not necessarily the greatest. Like you need these guys to have more defensive stuff for you to utilize them in those specific ways, because then people are looking at cards like this and they're like, oh, can I just use them as a right back, but I get the stat improvements? And you can, but obviously some of the things are formatted a little bit low on the card, right? So a lot of the times you would have to use them, I would say, mainly on a false back, because if you're giving pinged pass and a long ball pass to these guys and you're using them on a false back, then that'd be fine, right? Like Carvajal, again, pace lower, but you go to rolls, false back plus plus, and you give him both of those rolls, right? So he doesn't have a lot of defensive stuff, so he doesn't have like a bruiser, a jockey, anticipate, but he has stuff that in that false back roll, because that would be the main reason to do this from what I'm seeing so far, because CDM wise, these guys need more defensive stuff. That's going to be like the whole gist of this evolution, right? This makes more sense. Yeah, this one makes way more sense. Like the unfortunate thing is obviously you're not giving like a plus for pinged pass, but this makes more sense in the sense of using him as a CDM, right? Deep lying playmaker. Bro, he even has holding plus plus. Like this is actually like a somewhat well formatted card, to be honest. Because even if you don't attack that much, he still has 88 finishing. So you could still potentially score too, right? Center midwise, he has deep lying playmaker and holding. So, you giving the passing stuff is the relevant thing here. But in the midfield setup, he would actually do a decent job, right? That's why he's one of the top trending ones. I don't know if people would actually go down that route, but it's not deep. No, it's defensive playmaker. Why am I going to deep lying playmaker? Am I stupid? I might be stupid, guys. Oh, it's because I put 2. I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. Defensive playmaker. Yeah, the word defensive, this is the manipulation part that I always mention about the playstyles. Like, if you don't have playstyles for defense, they don't perform as well as the base card stats. Like, they do that because the casuals don't think about stuff like that as much. But it's very important to mention, right? Reece James. And notice how they format the pace. Notice how they format the pace. Like, these guys are not lengthy with that pace. So they're 92, 95, and it's like, oh, but then it's like, oh, but we have the intention of using him as a false back. Like, Reece James could actually be a decent false back. I actually like some of the play styles that he has, because in the right back position, he still has a bruiser and a jockey, which is nice, right? And then the pings pass and a long ball pass as a false back, because I see that more than the CDM position, to be honest. Like, again, bruiser and jockey could be decent at CDM, but like, I think it needs a little bit more to be really nice there. But false back, though, false back's not bad. Florenzi for AC Milan. Yeah, they cut it off 86. It's like, yeah, we're gonna cut it off here, just so that they can specifically use it as a deep lying playmaker or a false back, right? Mostly false back from what I'm seeing, to be honest. But we're not going to give him a lot of pace in it. But we're going to give him the passing play styles. DaCosta. This guy had such a crazy card one of the years. Yeah, right. As if someone did club member award and waited this long to give him defensive playmaker. Zero shot, buddy. Zero shot, bro. Oh yeah. Yeah, right, dude. Yeah. This one is one of those ones, guys. It's one of those ones where it's like if you've been improving certain evolutions and you could put it towards it, then that'd be sick. But let me see what they have on foot.gg. Let me see what they're working with for this one. The evolution last night, that's a crazy one. Like that's what you're supposed to be getting to actually be able to play this game, you know? But these ones, like, I'm not going to say anything because there are maybe some people's evolutions that they could improve that actually are pretty nice nowadays, right? So it's very important to mention that. Very important to mention that. I think there's like a fantasy cup for like a Mycon too. I think people were saying that recently. Ona as a left back? If you use her as a false back. Whipped pass, jockey, anticipate, rapid. It's, you know what, not bad for deep lying playmaker, but she's smaller, so you have to be mindful of that. She has a left back position change where you get false back as a right back, so you could get a right footed player on the right hand side. 86 pace. Imbabu. Are you still lengthy? He is, but with an anchor, not with a shadow. Yeah. Figured. Yeah, she has way more playstyles. It's just more to work with on this one, I would say. Shadow puts her in a decent area. Like, it wouldn't be horrible as a CDM, but at the same time, she is 5'3", so it's not ideal. Oh, Mazraoui, actually. Oh, that'd be an interesting one. Let's see. There he is. Yeah, it's because they capped the pace off. That's the thing. Oh, there you go, man. The first one that actually makes somewhat of sense, to be honest. Yeah, I would say this is the first one that makes somewhat sense, to be honest. Yeah, good passing play styles, jockey, intercept, anticipate, technical, incisive, relentless press. Yeah, this is nice. Oh yeah, but yo, hold on, bro. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. Club member, I'm looking at the thing here. Hold on. There you are. No, he still looks decent. No, he still looks decent. Yeah. He still looks okay. On a shadow, he looks okay. Not as a right back, but as a deep lying playmaker, yeah. Deep lying playmaker would be fine for this card. Like, if you're a Manchester United fan, you want to use Mazraoui in your team, there you go. Like, especially if you did that Casemiro SBC as a midfielder too, right? So you just go from there. Can you imagine a midfield setup in a 4-2-1-3 with Mason Mount, Mazraoui, and Casemiro in the midfield? How hilarious would that be? But yeah, I mean, as far as options go, he makes a lot of sense because they actually gave him some good play styles. That's one of the highest ones in my opinion. Again, when you go in the route of like Trent Alexander-Arnold, it is with the intention of using them as a false back in the right back position, in my opinion. You should just pick players you like or support. Almost all cards look the exact same at the end. I'm doing Trippier personally. Completely agree. That's why I mentioned to you guys, like, before I even seen this, it's sentimental, like, for most parts, right? Like, there's some evolutions that you may have been able to do that make them really nice. Rui Ball? Yeah, it's another one that makes sense, I think. if I use them as a deep lying playmaker, yeah, 2 of the playstyles being added. Intercept, Anticipate, Bruiser, Quick Step, Block. Very good playstyles. This is a nice card. This one is a nice card. Yeah, and if you're going to use them specifically in that role, yeah, it's not a bad card. That's actually a good shout. This guy actually got a pretty decent shout there. Yeah, no chance. Di Lorenzo? Yeah, I mean, Di Lorenzo from the inform. Block and rapid. With an anchor, his pace is low. On a shadow, yeah, but again, pace is formatted a specific way. So yeah, with this evolution, guys, we don't really need to talk too much about it. I think when it comes to the clear and obvious choices, all of these cards, for the most part, they're all formatted the exact same, right? Like if we go to the evolutions here and we go to defensive playmaker and we go to trending evolved players, look at how they're all formatted, right? Very like 86 pace, like close to 86 pace, close to 80 shooting, close to, you know what I mean? So with this one, just do your best to try to select people that actually have the ability of being able to be used in the false back role, right? Because that is the main way of actually being able to utilize this. Like honestly, slide tackle in a false back would be decent for Wan-Bissaka. Bowie, you know, a more agile player there wouldn't be bad either, but that is the intention of this one. Like there are some cards that you can use as a deep lying playmaker. Like this one wouldn't be horrible to try out as long as you notice that you're not really attacking too much with him. But right back wise on that false back, that's where you're looking for the long ball and the pinged pass. That's what it is with this one. So there's going to be different options for this one. Honestly, I would say you should go down the sentimental route for the most part, like people that you like IRL and you just want to be able to utilize them in the game. That is going to be the main cards that you should be doing, right? So like if I were to go sentimental myself, right, and I go to Santa Clara, there you go, right? Like this is the type of stuff that you would do, right? Maybe not necessarily like this stuff, but like the whatever gives them a direct upgrade. You know what I mean? For a direct upgrade on the card, you go down this route. Yeah, it's just for you to be able to improve a version of a card in a team that you just don't think is going to get anything in the future. But then again, you know, you have to see if they have like other roles. Like you see how this card doesn't have fullback plus, at least. Like it would be helpful to at least have one for the fullback position, right? So this card, maybe not so much. But then there's Lucas Suarez, who has a fullback plus. There you go, right? So usability-wise on a shadow, he's not a lengthy, right? But usability-wise in the right back position, it's just higher now, right? Like you can actually utilize a card like this. He's not going to be amazing, but you're going to build some players from your team that you just know are not going to get any sort of cards in the future unless you do further upgrades in the future with evolutions. That's going to be like the main thing. How tall is this guy? So it's like Lucas Suarez is 5'9". This guy looks taller. I don't know if he actually is. He does. You know, you can just look at a picture and they just look taller. It's one of those vibes, right? But yeah, all the cards, guys, they're pretty much formatted the same. Again, do your absolute best to try to get players that actually have defensive play styles. Like some of these cards that we saw earlier had them, so it makes them a little bit better to work with, especially in those sort of areas. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I will catch you guys for the next one. Just look at some, I would say look into sentimentals for this one, because there could be some cool cards that you want to be able to use right off the bat, right? So yeah, I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.